Is this thing on? Welcome back to Big Mouth and fancy seeing you here in June. I very welcome my friends and especially my enemies. Come in, sit down, no touching. I don't do the touching. Welcome back to Big Mouth. You can keep the conversation with me over on Twitter going at Movies TV Mad. James Cameron used to be a great filmmaker. Then he decided to make Avatar 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 billion, whatever he's on, whatever he's doing, right? And James Cameron has been a man who lost the rights for Terminator, allowed Hollywood to bastardize his creation for Terminator 3, which I didn't mind, by the way, Terminator 4, blah-de-blah-de-blah. But then he got the rights back. And this time last year, or more than that, him and Tim Miller were boasting on a Hollywood Reporter video. And they even got me pumped, even got me excited. This is going to be the sequel to Terminator 2 we always wanted. We are going to forget the other movies. It's going to be amazing. We had Tim Miller swearing and being aggressive, and we were all giving the fist pump, and we were very, very excited. But we didn't know what they were planning. What they were planning was to virtue signal and bastardize something so beautiful. James Cameron, he created Terminator, according to him, from a nightmare. But apparently to some people, he actually nicked the idea from someone else. That's allegedly, right? Anyway, getting away from that, he created the idea. He's the one who made John Connor a hero. Then he allowed Tim Miller, let's not just blame Tim. He co-wrote this movie, right? And he decided it was a good idea to kill off John Connor, the leader of the freaking resistance. So after he announces this, we're all excited. And he announces that Linda Hamilton is returning as Sarah Connor. Awesome. We love Linda. If you haven't seen her in the 80s TV show with Ron Perlman, Beauty and the Beast, watch her. What a beautiful performance by her and Ron. But getting away from that and moving on from that, right, he brought her back. Then he started talking about representing older women. We've seen older action stars, he says, like Stallone and Schwarzenegger still doing it. Why can't older females do it? No reason, Jim. No reason. But then he went into Wonder Woman. He went into Patty Jenkins. He started attacking them. And this is what he said. And the reason I'm going to read this is because Terminator Dark Fate is a flop. A flop. Quite rightly so, because the movie consumer isn't fucking stupid. Isn't stupid. And if you don't get that, you haven't been paying attention. So at the end of the day, right, they made this film to virtue signal, and they got it wrong. They took the role of the leader of resistance away from a male and gave it to a female, right? That's what they did. Because instead of getting females and giving them their own legacy characters, creating something new and exciting for women and young women to be inspired by, they take existing properties, they scrub out the men, and they put in women in their place. And it's ridiculous. James Cameron repeats Wonder Woman criticism. That's not breaking ground, Jim Cameron said. The Avatar director doubled down on comments he made about Patty Jenkins' superhero film, saying the sexualization of its star Gal Gadot is the issue. Let me get one thing straight, right? And I know you've read all this before, but this is important because he was very cocky about a year ago. And isn't it funny, the other day in an article, he tried to distance himself from Terminator Dark Fate because this is what these people do. It's every man, every woman, every person for themselves. They have no loyalty, they have no heart, and that's the problem with them. So let me make one thing clear. Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman is the opposite of sexualized. Now, in the history of the comics, she has been sexualized before, right? But this film, she was not sexualized. Absolutely not. Gal played this with grace, dignity, and it was absolutely not sexualized. Avatar director James Cameron has doubled down on his criticism of Patty Jenkins' blockbuster film Wonder Woman, saying that it wasn't groundbreaking and its star, Gal Gadot, was overly sexualized. That's a lie. That's an absolute lie. In an interview with The Guardian last month, Cameron called praise for Wonder Woman misguided, adding that the film constituted a step backwards. The comments angered some and prompted a response from Jenkins. James Cameron's inability to understand what Wonder Woman is or stands for to women all over the world is unsurprising, as though he is a great filmmaker, he's not a woman, she wrote on Twitter. Well, he's definitely not a woman, Patty. Right, let's read this tweet from her, because this was really funny. Wonder Woman is or stands for two women all over. James Cameron's inability to understand what Wonder Woman is or stands for to women all over the world is unsurprising, as though he is a great filmmaker, he's not a woman. Strong women are great. His praise of my film Monster and our portrayal of a strong yet damaged woman was so appreciated. But if women have to always be hard, tough and troubled to be strong, and we aren't free to be multi-dimensional or celebrate an icon of women everywhere because she's attractive and loving, then we haven't come very far, have we? Exactly, Patty. I believe women can and should be everything, just like male lead characters should be. There is no right and wrong kind of powerful woman. And the massive female audience who made the film a hit can surely choose and judge their own icons of progress. Yeah, that was a brilliant hit back by Patty. In an interview with The Hollywood Reporter published on Wednesday, Cameron defended his critique of the film, stating that Wonder Woman was good, but not groundbreaking film because of Gadot's depiction. First of all, I thought it was pretty groundbreaking. I thought it was not because of the female lead thing. It's a brilliant CBM, it really is. And why he went for this film, he was trying to get attention by targeting a CBM. So he wasn't going to go for the MCU. It's always DC they attack, isn't it? I'll stand by that. I mean, she was Miss Israel, and she was wearing a kind of bustier costume that was very form-fitting. How dare you? How dare you? What's her being Miss Israel got to do with anything? Disgusting. Disgusting, Cameron said, referring to Wonder Woman star Gal Gadot. She's absolutely drop-dead gorgeous. You see, blokes like this give the rest of us a bad name, don't they? To me, that's not breaking ground. How dare you, Gal? How dare you be attractive? Change your appearance now. James Cameron doesn't approve. They had Raquel Welch doing stuff like that in the 60s. What are you talking about? He added that he was talking about Wonder Woman in the context of Linda Hamilton's portrayal of Sarah Connor in Terminator 2 Judgment Day, a role in which he says her sexuality was purposely downplayed, as it was with Gal and Wonder Woman. She wasn't there to be liked or ogled, but she was central, and the audience loved her by the end of the film, he said about Hamilton. Hamilton's Sarah Connor was being screwed in Terminator 1. Don't tell me you weren't sexualising her, mate. Cameron continues, so as much as I applaud Patty's directing and film and Hollywood are letting a woman direct a major action franchise, I didn't think there was anything groundbreaking in Wonder Woman. And even if it wasn't groundbreaking, does it have to be? Does that make it not a great movie? No. The director added the issue with female action stars is that they're still marketed to teenage... What? I just think Hollywood doesn't get it about women in commercial franchises, he said. Drama, they've got that cracked, but the second they start to make a big commercial action film, they think they have to appeal to 18-year-old males or 14-year-old males, whatever it is. Crap, crap, crap. Cameron did know that his remark was probably a little bit simplistic, but added, I think that the fact that sexually she had the upper hand with the male character, which I thought was fun. What? What? Did you watch the same film as us? Anyway, Cameron is currently directing 2 Avatar sequels simultaneously and is in pre-production on a reboot of the Terminator franchise. In his original interview with The Guardian, Cameron also remarked on the difficulty he has faced on his relationships with strong, independent women. Did he really think this was going to help market this film? Do you realise who was going to go and see Terminator Dark Fate? Men, you idiot! Being attracted to strong, independent women has the downsides that they're strong, independent women. They inherit don't need you, he said. Fortunately, I'm married now to a strong, independent woman who does believe she needs me. First of all, if you're in a relationship, you need each other. Or you feel you need each other because you're in love and you want to be with each other as much as possible. Mate, you're talking shit. Anyway, right, I read that purposely. And if you go back to my homepage, I probably read that about a year ago. But I had to read it again because he really thought he was being clever. And now, Terminator Dark Fate is a flop. It's an R-rated movie that's not going to come anywhere near the Joker. But of course, he couldn't go at the Joker back then because nobody knew what the Joker was going to be. Because give him the opportunity, he probably would have went for Joker as well. But so, he thought he would say, oh, we've got a mature woman who's going to be playing in action scenes. Linda Hamilton is awesome. Linda Hamilton is awesome in this movie. But this film isn't all that. It's just more of the same that we've already seen. And his smugness and his arrogance and targeting a director and an actor like Patty and Gal was absolutely disgusting. And now his chickens have come home to roost. And you know what, everyone? I couldn't be more happier. One thing I'll say about Patty Jenkins and Gal Gadot, they didn't virtue signal for the whole of the Wonder Woman press tour. Hopefully it stays the same with Wonder Woman 84 as well. That's what one of the beautiful things was about Wonder Woman. Very different to the marketing of Brie Larson's Captain Marvel. That's what was so brilliant and energizing about the Wonder Woman press campaign back in 2017. But old James Cameron thought he was going to do what a lot of Hollywood crates were going to do. And James, you and Tim Miller, all you had to do was create a great Terminator movie. The movie you promised us, but didn't give.